has seen an advertisement that has convinced you that your microphone is listening to your conversations? All of your interactions, your credit card swipes, web searches, locations, likes, they're all collected in real time into a $1 trillion a year industry.
The real game changer was Cambridge Analytica. They'd worked for the Trump campaign and for the Brexit campaign. They started using information warfare.
Cambridge Analytica claimed to have 5,000 data points on every American voter.
I started tracking down all these Cambridge Analytica ex-employees.
Someone else that you should be calling to the committee is Brittany Kaiser.
Brittany Kaiser, once a key player inside Cambridge Analytica, casting herself as a whistleblower.
The reason why Google and Facebook are the most powerful companies in the world is because last year data surpassed oil in value. Data is the most valuable asset on Earth. We targeted those whose minds we thought we could change until they saw the world the way we wanted them to. I do know that their targeting tool was considered a weapon.
There is a possibility that the American public had been experimented on.
This is becoming a criminal matter. When people see the extent of the surveillance, I think they're going to be shocked.
And I still fear for your life.
Yeah.
With the powerful people that are involved.
But I can't keep quiet just because it'll make powerful people mad.
Data rights should be considered just fundamental rights.
This is about the integrity of our democracy. These platforms which were created to connect us have now been weaponized. It's impossible to know what is what, because nothing is what it seems.
On July 15, 2020, I was working from home, talking to one of my sources in the crypto world and idly scrolling through Twitter.
I'm scrolling through Twitter like I do way too often, and I saw a tweet from Elon Musk. If you send me $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, I'll send you back 2,000, which felt like an obvious scam. I just thought, oh, someone finally hacked his account. Good for them, I guess. And then I started seeing all these other accounts starting to get hit.
I was seeing this same tweet coming up from Apple, Uber,
Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates,
Joe Biden,
Barack Obama,
Michael Bloomberg, Floyd Mayweather,
Kanye West,
and of course, Kim Kardashian.
Twitter turned off tweeting for all the verified accounts.
And it suddenly became clear just how significant Twitter was. And they literally brought Twitter to its knees. The first thought was, this is too sophisticated for this just to be a Bitcoin scam. It immediately sort of recalled the 2016 elections, and the DNC gets hacked, and Hillary Clinton's emails are floating out there. All this personal information about the most significant cultural, business, and political figures had been penetrated. Everybody was just sort of waiting with bated breath to figure out who was behind the attack.
And who did it turn out to be?
Teenagers.
Federal law enforcement agents arrested 17-year-old Graham Clark for being the mastermind behind the July 15th hack of Twitter.
The opening ceremony was literally like 30 seconds away from starting. This is your big moment on the world stage.
If we can attack this infrastructure and bring down these servers, then we'll knock the Olympics offline and maybe prevent it from happening.
In cybersecurity, we tend to go from the motivation, the capability, to the conclusion. And that's deeply problematic in international politics.
That could actually trigger a chain of events leading to escalation, leading to an inadvertent conflict.
From what is known about the group, it was pretty logical to think that it may be Lazarus behind the Winter Olympics hack.
If they did some kind of attack, like all that would do is validate all the reasons why people didn't want to invite them.
In a sense, the Olympic destroyer malware itself was meant to be found. Somebody wanted us to come in and point our finger in the wrong direction.
I had a knock on my door by a couple of FBI agents. They might want to arrest me because I had already shut down the system. When you look at the hacker ethos, you value things like privacy, security, and trust.
Hacking is a superpower, and a hacker can use those skills for good or for bad. And who recruits the best hackers wins.
China appears to have a new cyber weapon at their
series
disposal.
of cyber attacks today against the internet.
So this is the World Championships of hacking right here.
Technology gives voice for the voiceless, but there is another side of the story. When you control the narrative, you control the power.
When you're being watched, you start doing things differently. You start saying things differently.
People love to say, but why should I care? I have nothing to hide. Right now, we are more surveyed than we've ever been in the history of humanity. So really, you don't know if you have anything to hide.
There are certain people that just didn't like what I was doing and decided to bring up charges and arrest me, and I'm under house arrest right now.
The word hacker has gone through quite an interesting evolution over the years, but it's been one of my big missions to bring back that term as what it really is. It's the most powerful tool set and skill for the future of the world.
I'm interested in protecting the weakest among us.
You've really managed to piss somebody off, and so good work.
Knowing myself, I knew I would pick jail every time.
You realize all the things that are possible, both how you can break the world that you see, but then how you make it into something better.
That's what I'm fighting for.
I was 6 years old when I got my first computer. I remember my dad plopping it down, and the first moment I powered it up, just hearing it churning and making all the bleeping sounds, waiting for my commands. I knew this would play a major role down the line in my life. The possibilities really seemed endless.
Several major websites are reeling this week after finding themselves targeted by a wave of cyber attacks.
I was young, I was 15 years old, I was drunk on power. Truth is when I launched the first attack, I wasn't even at my computer. I had set up a timer. I had it run while I was in school. Everybody that I just wanted to shut down, at the flick of a button, was gone.
We're now in communication with state and federal officials.
The stocks dropped, people sold. The overall assessment was $1.7 billion damage lost. A hacker's arsenal has greatly improved comparatively to when I was hacking. The exploit is the human being. Everybody thinks they're not a target. Like, why me? Like, what do I have? And the reality is that you don't need to be a target. The second you access the internet, you're granted an IP address, and that alone is worth something. There's just so many ways to manipulate a human being.